Welcome to a tour of my Webquest. The title of my Webquest is Water Cycle Quest. I decided to do it on this topic because I think it's a real life problem students can relate to. In my intro, I introduce the topic and provide information about the importance of water. Next, in my task, I discuss what students will be investigating on the water cycle quest and provide a brief description of what students will be doing. I also provide 3 questions that students will be working on. One is define 3 states of water and explain their role in the water cycle. 2 is find out where does the water we drink come from. 3 is why are we running out of drinking water? And number 4 is what can we do to conserve the resources that give us drinking water? And in here I tell students that they're going to be working in groups and that each of them will have a role. Then for process, I listed what the students will be doing step by step and created 2 sub-pages. One is called links and cool tools and the other one is called roles. And here on process, step by step, for number 1, they're going to be choosing a role. Number 2, they will be conducting a research. Number 3, they will collaborate on Google Doc. Number 4, they're going to create a Google presentation. For one of the subpages, links and cool tools, I listed a couple of links that they can use, which will help them with the research and gathering information. And I listed them on the left-hand side. And I also listed a couple of cool tools that they can use for this project. For example, they can get really awesome pictures at Flickr. They can also use Google for images. And they can also edit their pictures on Picasa. And I also provided a link to YouTube where they can upload their videos if they wish to. They don't have to use YouTube for the assignment, but I went ahead and listed that one just in case they wanted to. And for collaboration, they will be using sites and docs in Google. And for the roles, which is the next subpage under process, I listed the roles that they could choose from. 1 is the researcher, 2 is organizer, 3 is manager and timekeeper, and the 4th one is tech savvy. Number 4 is evaluation, and this is a rubric that I provided for my students to follow, and this is what their grade will be based on. So if they want to get a 4, which is the highest score, they need to follow what's under 4. And I also explained under category that they will be graded on the roles, the Google presentation, Google Docs, and their use of times. And what I mean by role is their participation and how they cooperated with each other in the group. For conclusion, I went ahead and summarized what we learned and what we did in the Webquest. And I also talked about the learning outcomes. And I wrote about a couple of them, how the different types of media that they used for the project. They learned how to navigate on Google Docs and Google Presentation. They also learned how to research for information and use Flickr for pictures. And I also included reflective questions right here. And I went ahead and included 5 reflective questions, and one of them is, what are the 3 states water can assume? After your research about the water cycle, do you think it's acceptable to use drinking water to water our yard and wash our cars? Number 3, can you think of 2 things we can do to help save our recycled water? Number 4, what happens during the evaporation process? Number 5, what do you think will happen if we run out of fresh water? Would ocean water be our backup? And those are some questions that I came up with that students can reflect on after completing the Webquest. And my last page is the teacher page. And in here, I included some information about the Webquest. For example, like the time that it will require to complete this assignment, some resources that the students used and that were offered to them, my contact information. I also included the link to my blog so that students can get additional information there, and also provided them with my email address. And here I listed the standards that my Webquest covered, and the grade level is 5th grade. And this concludes the tour of my Webquest. I hope you guys like it. Thank you and have a good night.